On this episode of Road Trip, we are taking you to St. Augustine, Florida. At 454 years old, St. Augustine is the oldest continuously occupied settlement in the USA. This was a quick one-day road trip to take in some of the sights, do a little shopping, and just basically enjoy the day. We plan on doing a far more extensive video about St. Augustine in the future, but for now, here is just a glimpse of a few of the things that you can see and do in St. Augustine. Anyone visiting St. Augustine will be immediately drawn to the amazing architecture found throughout the city. It seems like every shop, bar, restaurant, or corner you turn brings a totally unexpected and unique experience. With St. Augustine only about an hour and a half drive from the Orlando area via I-4, it really makes a great day trip or weekend getaway. There is so much to see and do that you could visit dozens of times and always find something new. We were lucky on this trip and managed to find street parking right in the town square. This is metered parking and costs around $20 for a full day. There are private parking lots available as well, at about the same price. When visiting St. Augustine, you want to visit the historic district. If you want to stay for the night, or maybe longer, you will find plenty of options right in this area, mostly bed and breakfasts or single-room lodging. Just outside of the historic district, you'll find more modern hotels and restaurants at very reasonable prices. There are nooks and crannies everywhere, and exploring the maze of narrow roads in the historic district is sure to be an adventure you won't soon forget. I guess when a city has been around for over 450 years, something historic happened everywhere. There is no shortage of plaques, monuments, and areas of general historic interest. From the old drugstore to the old schoolhouse, if you are a history buff, St. Augustine is the place to be. There are several tram and trolley tours of the area available. This is a great way to see and learn about the history of the city. These tours do offer packages that bundle admission to several attractions as well. There are even nighttime ghost tours. If you live in Central Florida or have visited for any length of time, you are well aware that there is no shortage of shopping opportunities available. Checking out the shops in St. Augustine is a great change of pace from the outlet malls, gift shops, and general touristy shopping that we are used to. St. Augustine has its fair share of souvenirs and touristy wares, but it's mixed in with some amazing handcrafted goods, antiques, and unique shops to satisfy everyone. There are so many shops, they almost seem stacked on top of each other. Main streets have alleyways that lead to courtyards with outdoor shopping and even more indoor shops. Each store we went in was unique in its own way. Shopkeepers are extremely friendly and helpful. Many of these stores are small, privately owned businesses, and there is no shortage of handmade goods available. If you see something that you simply must have, but it's a little too big to carry home, don't be afraid to ask about having the item shipped to you. If you are looking for a gift for the person that has everything, or if you would like to bring home a souvenir from your Florida vacation that doesn't have mouse ears on it, you will be sure to find something unique in one of the local artisan shops. We really enjoyed our day shopping and found some amazing items that we either purchased or plan to purchase on a return trip. There are so many things to do in St. Augustine, and we only had a few hours before we had to return home. Deciding what to do when your time is limited is difficult. On previous trips, we had already visited the old jail, the Fountain of Youth, Ripley's, the Castillo de San Marcos, the old schoolhouse, the old drugstore, and most of the other attractions and historical landmarks. We had not yet been to the lighthouse, so we made the decision that we would take the plunge, or in this case, the climb. The lighthouse is just a short drive from the historic district, and there is a free parking lot available. Built between 1871 and 1874, the St. Augustine Lighthouse Station is located on the north end of Anastasia Island and is an active working lighthouse. This is a paid attraction, and admission was $12.95 for adults and $10.95 for children 10 and under. We began our visit at the Keeper's House, which is now of course a museum with artifacts from the lighthouse's past as well as furnishings used by the house's previous tenants. Restoration on the lighthouse and the Keeper's House began in 1980, and the lighthouse was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1981 due to this effort. The property also contains a Coast Guard barracks and a Jeep repair facility, now a snack bar, that was in service during World War II. The grounds are extensive and nothing short of amazing. Make sure to take time to explore. There are some short trails available on this property, and we did manage to explore at least a few. All the trails we checked out seem to loop back to where they started. There are other activities available as well, including a playground for children, and of course spectacular views of the lighthouse. The lighthouse stands at 165 feet, and the only way to the top is a spiral staircase consisting of 219 steps. It's a difficult climb, but the reward is well worth the effort, and there are resting points along the way. If you consider that in the old days the keeper would have to make this climb several times in a night while carrying a 20-pound bucket of oil for the lamps, the climb seems a little bit easier. The views from the top of the lighthouse are amazing. Of course, after you enjoy the view and get great pictures, it's time to walk back down all 219 steps. Thankfully, going down was much easier than going up. Many places in St. Augustine are known for paranormal activity, and the lighthouse is no different. The lighthouse has even been featured on the sci-fi series Ghost Hunters. If you are into things that go bump in the night, the Lighthouse Museum does have some ghost-themed events available to the public. Ticket prices vary, so be sure to check for dates and prices at staugustinlighthouse.org. We had a great time on this short day trip and look forward to our next visit. St. Augustine is just a short drive down I-4 from the Orlando area and makes for the perfect weekend getaway or even just an afternoon away from the theme parks and traffic. To find out more information about St. Augustine, visit us online at comeseeorlando.com. And if you liked this video and want to see more like it, please hit that thumbs up button, and while you're down there, you might as well subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time, we hope you find adventure around every corner.